Okay, let's dive straight in. We're looking at how to handle digital challenges today. Could be targeted attacks, could be weird system glitches.
And we're using the really intense experience of Mercedes Noam Kostucki as our guide.
Yeah, she faced a whole lot hate mail, getting banned from social media. Her LinkedIn got hacked.
And this baffling drop in her restaurant's TripAdvisor ranking, just one thing after another.
Right, so our goal here is to pull out some practical insights. How can we maybe prevent this stuff or at least overcome it if it happens?
Definitely. So Mercedes' story, it kicked off with something pretty disturbing.
The restaurant booking.
Yeah, for her place, High Fine Dining. It wasn't a real booking. It was just hate mail. Explicitly transphobic, really nasty stuff.
Ugh, the booking name itself was offensive, wasn't it? What the fuck?
Exactly. And comments mocking identity, saying they'd make life difficult, just pure targeted malice.
So thinking about prevention right away,
Mm.
what's the first step when something like that lands in your inbox?
Well, what's interesting is Mercedes almost dismissed it initially. Like maybe it's just one awful person, a one-off incident.
That feels kind of human, though. You hope it's not the start of something bigger.
Totally. But maybe the first lesson here is document it, even if it feels isolated, especially with hateful language or targeting. Keep a record.
Okay. Log it, screenshot, or whatever, just in case.
Yeah, because it might help show a pattern later if more things happen, which for Mercedes, they absolutely did.
It escalated pretty fast, didn't it? Like
Yeah.
just a couple weeks later.
She called it a digital siege. Suddenly, bam, banned from Facebook and Instagram.
And not just one account.
No, her personal profile, her coaching page, and the restaurant page, all gone. No real explanation given.
Wow.
And trying to appeal.
Well, that's often a frustrating process, as she found out. Very opaque.
That lack of transparency is a killer. So from a prevention angle there, what can you do? It really highlights the risk of having all your eggs in one basket, platform-wise. Diversifying your online presence, maybe having your own email list or website.
Backup channels.
Exactly. So you're not completely cut off if one platform pulls a plug or gets targeted.
Makes sense. And then came the LinkedIn thing. That wasn't just a ban, was it?
No, that was different. She was locked out, and it turned out to be a confirmed hack. Someone had actually gotten in and changed her login email address.
Whoa. Okay, so that's not an algorithm glitch. That's intentional.
Absolutely. And changing the email like that is a tactic to completely take over an account. Makes it really hard to recover.
So the lesson there is pretty clear. Account security.
Oh, massively. Strong, unique passwords everywhere. Multi-factor authentication, 2FA. Turn it on wherever you possibly can, even on sites you don't think are that important.
Because they can be a gateway, maybe.
Could be. And this confirmed hack, it sort of cast all the earlier stuff in a new light, didn't it? Made those glitches seem more suspicious.
Yeah, you start connecting dots. And then there was the TripAdvisor mystery.
Ah, yes. Her restaurant, High Fine Dining, was usually top 3 in its area. Suddenly, right at the start of high season in December, it drops to number 24.
Just plummeted, despite good reviews.
Yep. Recent positive reviews, but the ranking tanked. She asked TripAdvisor what happened.
And the answer was?
Something about a proprietary homepage algorithm change they couldn't really explain. Very vague.
That sounds frustratingly opaque.
Extremely. Especially when your business relies on that visibility. It just cratered the traffic.
So for prevention there,
Yeah.
it feels like you're kind of at the mercy of the platform again.
To some extent, yes. Their algorithms are black boxes. But it does maybe emphasize building direct connections with customers, where you can email lists, loyalty programs, things that aren't totally dependent on a third-party ranking.
Right. So you have some resilience if the platform algorithm goes sideways.
Or if something more deliberate is happening. Mercedes mentioned the Meriton masking case.
Where a business suspected its visibility was being deliberately hidden.
Exactly. That parallel came to her mind. It adds to the suspicion that maybe it wasn't just a random algorithm tweak causing that drastic drop at the worst possible time.
The timing is definitely suspicious. And we also had that earlier Facebook page thing, right?
Yeah.
Before the main bans.
Oh, yeah. The restaurant page got suspended for, get this, explicit sexual content.
Which turned out to be?
Photos of food. Like plated dishes.
Slight chuckle. Okay, that's just absurd.
Completely absurd. Initially, everyone assumed it had to be an algorithmic error, a bot gone wrong.
Understandable.
The page got reinstated eventually, but then it was like invisible in searches for a while, which is also weird.
So looking back with everything else that happened,
You start to wonder, right, was that really just a random error? Or was it maybe someone maliciously reporting the food photos, trying to cause trouble even back then, an early probe perhaps?
It definitely fits the pattern that seemed to emerge. So when you face something like that, a clearly wrong content flag,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Persistence seems key. Keep appealing, keep documenting everything, screenshots, dates, the whole trail. You might need it to show a pattern or escalate it. It's exhausting, but sometimes it's the only way.
Okay, so let's pull back. We've got the hate mail, the meta bans, the LinkedIn hack, the TripAdvisor drop, the weird Facebook suspension. Coincidence or coordinated attack?
I mean, you can never be 100% certain with these opaque systems, but the sequence, the timing, the confirmed hack, it strongly suggests a targeted effort.
It really does. And sadly, as Mercedes pointed out, these kinds of tactics trying to deplatform, disrupt livelihoods, they have been documented as being used against marginalized groups online.
It's a grim reality. It moves beyond simple trolling into actual attempts to silence and cause harm.
Which really highlights the need for support, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If this happens, you can feel so isolated.
Absolutely. Connecting with others, finding communities, realizing you're not alone in this, that can be incredibly important for just coping, let alone fighting back.
So let's talk about that coping. The impact on Mercedes was huge, right?
Yeah.
Financially.
Devastating. Restaurant earnings dropped to less than a quarter of the previous year. Risk of bankruptcy became very real.
And emotionally.
Oh, a massive toll. Anger, injustice, feeling victimized, but also, interestingly, guilt and shame.
Guilt. Why guilt?
Like, I should have seen this coming. I should be better than this. If only I was smarter. That kind of self-blame.
Wow, that's rough. Your mind racing, trying to find where you went wrong, even when you're the one being attacked.
Exactly. She talked about it connecting to past experiences of being singled out. It's that feeling of being hit, that punch-in-the-face moment Mike Tyson talked about. Everyone has a plan until then.
So how do you get back up after that kind of hit? This is where her resilience blueprint comes in.
Yeah, she frames resilience as an active process, not just something you are. Step one is noticing and feeling emotions.
There's not bottling it up.
Right. Actually allowing yourself to feel the anger, the sadness, the fear, whatever's there, without judging yourself for feeling it.
And she mentioned exploring where those feelings come from, like connections to the past.
Yeah, understanding why you're reacting so strongly. Does it tap into old wounds or patterns? That self-awareness is crucial to not getting completely overwhelmed.
Okay, so you notice, you feel, then what?
Step two, processing and channeling emotions. Find healthy ways to let it out.
For her, it was running, drawing, painting.
Yeah, physical or creative expression, but it could be anything, really. Talking to someone, journaling, walking, dancing, shouting into a pillow. Whatever works for you to move that energy.
Find your outlet. Got it. And step three.
Action and strategic thinking. Okay, the emotions are being processed, now what? Assess the actual damage, what doors have closed, and then start looking for new possibilities.
Not just getting back to baseline, but maybe even growing.
That's the aim. Aiming for like a tenfold improvement, she said. Thinking bigger.
Yeah.
But crucially, it involves taking different actions, trying new things.
And accepting that some of those new things might fail.
Oh, absolutely. Trial and error is almost guaranteed. The key is not stopping.
She has this philosophy, never stop quitting. Sounds counterintuitive.
It does, but it's about quitting the things that aren't working, constantly reassessing, letting go of dead ends, while never quitting the overall goal. Like her grandparents surviving the war, those who gave up didn't make it. Those who survived just kept finding ways.
That's powerful. Resilience as adaptation and persistence.
Exactly. It's not about avoiding falls. It's about how you get up and keep moving.
And part of her moving forward now involves helping others.
Right.
Through her coaching and community.
Yes, her public speaking coaching, helping people find their voice, which feels very relevant. And a daily support community for people who feel different, or parents of kids who are different.
So engaging with those is a way to support her directly while also potentially getting help for yourself.
Precisely. It helps her rebuild, and it offers resources for others facing their own struggles. She's also explicitly asking for ideas, collaborations, ways to get more visibility, very proactive.
It really shows that commitment to not giving up, to building something stronger out of the wreckage.
Refusing despair, basically. Using the experience as fuel.
Okay, so wrapping this up, key takeaways seem to be vigilant, document weirdness early, nail down your security, diversify where you can online.
Definitely. Recognize patterns if they emerge.
And if you do get hit, allow the emotional response. Find healthy outlets for it.
And then shift into strategic action. Assess, pivot, try new things, and keep going. That resilience blueprint.
It's an active process, not passive. You have agency even when things feel overwhelming.
That's the core message, I think.
So, a final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
We rely so much on this digital infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
But it can be fragile or even weaponized.
Hmm.
What could we, individually or maybe together, do to push for more transparency from these platforms, better support when people face targeted attacks or even just inexplicable system failures?
That's a big question. How do we make these systems more accountable, more human-centric?
And on a personal level, maybe think about how you could apply some of that resilience framework, noticing, processing, acting, to challenges you might be facing, digital or otherwise.
Yeah, how can you actively build your own resilience starting today?